welcome to the July 4th weekend edition. I'm going to be talking every MLS match over July 2nd, July 3rd, July 4th. I'm Adam Zdroik, coming to you from RotoWire. You can find me at RotoZdroik. We got the fireworks in the background. I got a USA cape on. We're just going full out here and just going to do a really quick look at some betting lines. We surpassed what I was looking for yesterday. I think I set the bar at 20 views on for the DFS slate, and we well surpassed that. So I decided for the people, I am of the people. I'm going to be doing this betting show for everyone. And if you're watching on YouTube or if you're watching on Twitter, on YouTube, I'm going to be splicing these up. So if you can't bet the Saturday games, you can skip ahead to the Sunday games. Or if you can't bet, the Sunday, you can go to Saturday. You can go to the Monday games. You can do that. So I'm going to split those up uh, by chapters on YouTube. But yeah, I think we're at 14 games over the July 4th weekend, and I will be doing this before. This is on Thursday. I'm doing this June 30th, so that's going to be before Charlotte play against Austin, and Red Bulls are against Atlanta on Thursday night. So if I say something wrong, if there's a big injury or something like that, then sorry in advance. But what are you going to do? So we'll start off with also I got rotowire.com betting page up. We have just you go to the soccer section, click on sports betting, and you're right there. You can see we got all the World Cup articles. We also have Liga MX articles, Premier League future articles. We got a bunch of stuff, but we're going to go down. You can compare odds actually right on the page. You just pick the date, pick the league. Right now, this is Saturday, July 2nd. The odds, you can compare odds between DraftKings, FanDuel, BetMGM, PointsBet. So if you have accounts at all those sites, compare odds, and then the best return will show up right there on the page. As you can see, we're starting Toronto home against Seattle. Toronto is plus 165, Seattle plus 145 to win. And I guess before I get into it, the main thing I saw here, this is going to be a lot of simple bets. This is going to be a lot of money lines, double chances. I'm not even sure I'm going to talk about an over under here. Main thing with MLS over unders, it's just not the same as when you're looking at Premier League. There's a lot of games that have, at least on this slate, there's a lot of, over 2.5 goals at minus 140, minus 150, minus 160. I don't really want to talk about that kind of a thing. I don't want to put a bet on a minus 150. That just seems stupid to me. And then on the other end of that, you have the lower scoring games. There's a lot of under 2.5 at minus 140s, that kind of thing. So I'm going to stick with, just picking sides mostly here. I went through the list, and it's going to be a bunch of sides, some double chances, but I wanted to get that out of the way. Just I'm not. I was looking at DraftKings, and DraftKings doesn't even have goal scorers yet for I don't think any of these matches. So I can't even talk about goal scorers and some of the inside numbers. Corner numbers aren't even out yet. So that's kind of why it's more of some simple bets here for MLS. But I'm starting off with I guess this is an upset. I originally liked the over, but again, the over 2.5 goals in this match is minus 160, and I'm not a huge better on over 3.5 goals unless I'm really certain on the situation. So I'm actually going Toronto money line. You can get them plus 165. They've been playing well at home for the most part. Granted, they just lost. They just lost against Columbus Wednesday night, but mostly, like a lot of MLS teams, they're better at home. And the difference here with Seattle, Seattle just lost actually at home Wednesday as well, but they haven't really played. They are one of the better teams in the league. I guess currently seventh place in the table, so haven't had the best start, but they've lost 3 of their last 4 away, and then they got the extra travel. Seattle, obviously time zone travel, so you got the Wednesday to Saturday switch for Seattle. So I'm going Toronto plus 165. Next match we got Vancouver home plus 240 against LAFC plus 100. And LAFC, they just won on Wednesday, whereas Vancouver had a bit of rest. Their last game was over the weekend. So you look at that, and I kind of like you get the last rest for LAFC. You got Vela, who It was returning from a minor injury. He hasn't been really playing full 90s, so it's going to be another game where there's a chance, a short week, there's a chance like Carlos Vela may not start. And LAFC are getting, a lot of buzz because of Gareth Bale and Chiellini and that kind of stuff. Those guys still aren't available. So this is, the regular LAFC team. You got Vancouver, who are, pretty decent at home. They haven't, I'm looking at this right now. They haven't lost at home since they haven't dropped. They've won 3 of the last 5 at home, and otherwise they drew New England, drew San Jose. So they've lost 1 game at home all season. Let's just go with a pretty simple route. You can get Vancouver win or draw, which is the double chance. You can get that -120. If it's a draw, you win. If Vancouver wins, you win. The other route, maybe if you don't like LAFC too much, plus 240 for Vancouver to win. That's an option as well. And let me change the date here. We're going to Sunday. Those were 2. So we got 2 matches July 2nd on Saturday. And now Sunday is the big day where we have, 8 matches here. So moving along, we got an NYCFC -165. Good team at home to win against Atlanta, who are plus 420. I tried to figure out the best way to attack this one. I originally looked at something like NYC at -1.5, but they actually don't have a ton of wins by more than 1 goal. You look at the recent home games. They got 1-1, 1-0, 2-0. Scoreless draw against Sporting KC. And then for the most part, like I know Atlanta have a lot of losses away from home, but they've picked it up last, I don't know, a couple weeks. But Atlanta still, I guess I'll just say I think Atlanta will put up a fight here. You can get like NYCFC -1 at plus 100. And then at that point, if they win by a goal, it's a push. But if they win more than a goal, and then you win your bet. Plus 100, I'm not sure that's the best money on that one. So I'm going to go with an exact route and hope that Atlanta put up some kind of fight. So I'm kind of thinking 2-1 kind of result. NYC, they were just in the this 4-4 battle against Cincinnati on Wednesday. Cincinnati scored, I think it was the first 3 goals in the match. NYC came back. So we'll see if there's tired legs. We'll see what the rotation looks like. But Atlanta also probably some tired legs here. They are, I believe I just said it, they do play on, they are, okay, yeah, they're at Red Bulls tonight on Thursday. So they're probably staying in New York, actually, now that you think about it. But I'm going exactly NYCFC to win by 1 goal. That's plus 240. A little exact route. This is probably the biggest value you'll get from me on today's show here. So the plus 240, I think NYC will win, but I think Atlanta will put up some kind of fight that it'll be enough that it's only a 1 goal win here. Next match, we got Columbus Crew at home plus 145 against the Union plus 205. And we look at the numbers here. Columbus coming off a pretty solid win. I think the big news is that Lucas Zelarayan returned to the starting 11, and that kind of gave them the boost to get 2 early goals against Toronto and win that one on Wednesday. Whereas you got the Union, they lost at Chicago, and a big thing with that match is Jose Martinez got a red card. Yeah, central defensive midfielder. He's going to be out of this one, so they're going to have to make some moves. Possibly some guy like Jack Elliott, their center back, may move into the midfield. So I think that's pretty relevant. Philadelphia overall, just a team that likes to play defensive, likes to keep things close. Whereas you got the return of Zayla Ryan. And, for the most part, the Crew are not terrible, but they're just not consistent. But I think, the return of Zayla Ryan, the return of some of their guys, Pedro Santos, a lot of guys from injury, and I think that combined with no Martinez for the Union and then just the way they play defensive, I think it's worth it to take I guess Columbus are favored. So let's take plus 145 on the Crew to win this one. I also look at the under 2.5, but that's minus 140. So I'll just take the value. Hope the Crew can get a win on Sunday. So plus 145. We got the Revolution home. Minus 190 against Cincinnati, plus 475. Of course, the big thing with Cincinnati is they're coming off the 4-4 result against against NYC on Wednesday. As with the Revolution, they had the week off, they had the midweek off, and these teams actually played each other a few days ago. Sorry, not days. Last month they played against each other. New England won 3-2 at Cincinnati. I took some time. This one was a little harder to find something because New England minus 190. Are they going to win by more than one goal? I do think that Cincinnati has actually been playing better than they have earlier in the season. They're being competitive. They haven't lost by more than a goal in their last, I guess, in a while here. That U.S. Open Cup match actually, May 11th, Cincinnati played at New England, but it was, from what I saw, it was New England's A squad against Cincinnati's B squad, so I won't put too much into that. So I think that Cincinnati, they're getting a lot from Brenner and Brandon Vasquez up front. Brenner just coming off the hat trick, so you got that in there. So I'm kind of tentative on taking something like a -1.5 for New England. New England, they are a better team. I'm just going to go kind of like a parlay, a mini parlay here that they have on DraftKings, which is it's just a parlay included. They got like a parlay list. You can do New England to win over 2.5 goals plus 105. I'm still questionable about Cincinnati's back line, so that's kind of where this comes in. I think New England will score at least 2 goals, and then I'm hoping either maybe New England will get to the 3 or Cincinnati will get 1 or something like that. So that's plus 105, the Revs to win and over 2.5 goals. Next match, we have, I guess my list is different here than what I'm looking at, but we got 2 8 o'clock games. Minnesota home at plus 125 against Real Salt Lake, plus 210. And just a simple route here. I'm just going to go Minnesota to win. We have Real Salt Lake, who they have a bit more rest, but how much does that mean? Minnesota, I guess that's my main worry in this spot. Minnesota just won in Los Angeles, 3-2. I think they scored the first 3 goals in that match. The Galaxy got an early red card, that kind of thing. Rosales picked up a red card for Minnesota, but you look at Minnesota, this is their first real home match since, they had a friendly against Paderborn, but their first home match since May 28th. So it's been a month since they've been at home. And then you combine that with July 4th weekend. I think the atmosphere is going to be pretty wild up in Minnesota and probably going to be good weather. It's a summer, so it's going to be a nice day out there. Real Salt Lake, we know they're second in the table in the Western Conference, but you look at their away matches here, it's okay. 2-1 loss at Vancouver. They beat Montreal. They lost against Nashville. Couldn't score against Portland. 6-0 against NYC. That kind of thing. So I think Minnesota, they're going to ride, Wednesday's match. Hopefully they're not too tired. Again, this is a Wednesday to Sunday difference here, so it's not that big compared to Wednesday, Saturday, or Thursday, Sunday. So I think the rest won't be a major issue. Sorry, this cape is just falling around, falling over my shoulders here. But I'm just going with plus 125 Minnesota United over Real Salt Lake. Next match, we got Sporting KC plus 170 at home against the Red Bulls, plus 155. And both these teams inconsistent. You don't know what you're going to get on a regular basis from either one of these teams. Sporting have lost their last 2 at home, and then you have the Red Bulls, who haven't scored in their last 3 away. They've lost their last 3 away 2-0. This one kind of harder to project, but again, we have the Red Bulls. I guess Sporting Kansas City, I think they didn't play midweek, if I remember correctly. Yeah, they're at Seattle over the weekend, and then you have the Red Bulls home against Atlanta on Thursday. So this is Thursday to Sunday switch, and then you have the Red Bulls at Sporting Kansas City. So you got a bit of travel with them on a short week, and I'm just going with the home team. I'm going with Kansas City, a team I used to work for about 10 years ago. Plus 170, Sporting Kansas City to win. We'll see what they look like. They've had a lot of problems. They haven't really found, the forward up front. They just added Eric Tommy. He's not going to be available for this match. They've had goalkeeper issues. They've had defensive issues. They've had midfielder issues. They've had issues, but maybe this extra rest will help them here get the win on Sunday. Next match, Houston Dynamo plus 105 home against Charlotte. plus 260. Charlotte of note. Charlotte play tonight, so that's another Thursday match. And then Charlotte have to travel to Houston. So kind of the same situation as the Red Bulls. You look at Charlotte, they are home against Austin tonight, but just a bad away team. There's no real way to describe it here. Let me just look at the results. Lost 3 of their last 4 away. Houston coming off a loss at Portland. So that was a Wednesday. So they do have some travel. Portland back to Houston at home. But Houston, a pretty good team at home. And I think that's kind of where I'm coming from. They won 2 of their last 3 at home. The loss in there was against Seattle, so tough matchup. But the numbers on Charlotte, I don't think they've won away from home this season. And then we're getting plus odds on Houston to win. I like Houston just a little better here. Charlotte, they still have issues, I guess. You know, they had the managerial change, that kind of thing. Thor or Olfarsson is coming in starting 11 for Houston lately, and he's provided a bit of a spark for him up there with Ferreira. But I like Houston there, plus 105 to win. Next match, Nashville home, minus 115 against Portland, plus 320. We have Portland. They played home yesterday on Wednesday. They beat Houston. And then Nashville was at Orlando in the U.S. Open Cup on Wednesday as well. So both these teams, some travel, but Nashville are the home team. And what am I going with this? I actually think so. Portland are playing better than they're 8th in the Western Conference right now. But you look at the recent results; it looked a little better. You got the win against Colorado. They got the draw at Galaxy. Some of their away matches are alarming. They have a lot of losses in there, especially the travel when you travel to the East Coast. But I mean, they got the draw 1-1 at the Red Bulls, so you got that in there. But I mean, with the Nashville is okay. Their last home match lost against Sporting KC. I just don't think that Nashville should be this big of a favorite, minus 115. Like, why is Nashville minus 115? And then you got a team like Houston at plus 105. So, plus 320, but I'm actually going double chance. So that's winner draw Portland, minus 105. So maybe going with the draw kind of a thing here. Maybe Portland can sneak away with a win, that kind of a thing. Nashville, I'm not entirely sold on just home match for Nashville, so they're going to win kind of a thing. So I'm not sold on that. Is I guess where I'm coming from. 2 points from the last 3 home matches. So there you go. Next match, we got 2 of the worst teams in the league. So we got San Jose home plus 105, and then you got Chicago Fire plus 245. What do we want to say about these teams? Not a lot. They're both near the bottom of the table. Neither one has shown much. I guess with the Chicago, they've won 2 of their last 3. Again, those were at home. So how much are we putting into those? You look at their away matches. They lost 4 of their last 5. Extend that. They lost 6 of their last 7 away from home. But then what does that mean for San Jose, who, you look at the results, not a lot of positive results of late. You turn that around. You look at their home results, draw, win, 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 draw. So San Jose actually one of those teams where they can only get results at home and they lose whenever they're away from home. So you got plus 105 to win. Maybe some people will be looking at that Chicago Fire recent result and saying, okay, yeah, they're coming off a win. Maybe I'll bet Chicago, that kind of thing. But we have, I guess this is correct. So San Jose, the last time they played was June 18th. So they have a ton of rest and they're going to be at home. So I think that's pretty big bonus here. Chicago home against Philly on Wednesday. So you got the turnaround, then you got the West Coast trip. So I'll go with Earthquakes. They are plus 105 to win. And that is it for Sunday. We're moving along here. We got July 4th, the big day. What do we got left? We got 4 games. All right. I'm going to need take a break here with some water. All right. Orlando City home minus 105 against DC United. Got to say, I'm just going with another home team here. Orlando City to win is minus 105, and that's what I'm taking. DC United last in the table. They're below Chicago Fire because Chicago just got the win. So DC United last in the table, just a bad team away from home. You look at DC's last few away matches, 1-0 at Chicago. It's not a great loss. 4-1 against the Red Bulls, 2-2 against Miami, 3-0 against the Crew. And yeah, it just keeps going. 2-1 at Toronto. So I think like you're basically getting even odds here for Orlando to win. I know they're not the best team, but you look at some of their home results here: win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, that kind of thing. So it's not too consistent, but when you got them going against one of the worst teams in the league, and at even odds, I'll just take Orlando to win right there. And the next match, Colorado -120 home against Austin. Again, Austin are +320. Austin are at Charlotte on Thursday. So Austin, we'll see what their travel schedule looks like, but this is Monday. So this is going to be Thursday to Monday switch kind of a thing. They're traveling from the East Coast to Colorado where there's altitude. So you got to take that into account. And I'm just going another simple route here. You can get -120 for the Rapids to win that one. You look at the recent home results, 1-3 of their last 4. Sure, they lost at home against Nashville, but you look at Austin, and we'll see. I mean, the Austin are up there in the table, 3rd place. Colorado down there in the other table. So, sorry, I got a frog in my throat here, so I'm losing my voice. It's getting a little dry here. But yeah, I'm just going to stick with the home team here. Ride the elevation with Colorado, bank on Austin and all their travel. Hopefully that's going to lead to the win for the Rapids on July 4th. And next match here, we got Dallas home against Inter Miami. So Dallas -160, Inter Miami +425. And the route I'm going here is actually, let me think about this. I'm just going off what I wrote down here. So yeah, Dallas are a pretty big favorite, and I'm just trying to figure out why. I guess just because Miami are very good. So Dallas have lost their last 2 at home. Miami have pretty much lost a lot of their matches, 3 of their last 4. They haven't scored in their last 4. So what I was looking at, instead of taking Inter Miami +1, I'm not comfortable enough to take the double chance just because, I do think Dallas are a better team. So I'm not going to bet on a team that I think is worse to get a draw. So I'm not going to take that route. I'm actually going to take the under 2.5. You can get +100 odds on that. And then because Inter Miami, you look at their matches, their recent away matches, there's been 5 goals total scored in their last 4 away matches. They haven't scored in any of those. And then even with Dallas, 1 goal in their last 2 home matches. Take that into account. Yeah, just like the under 2.5 there, +100. I think that's the only over-under I'm taking on this one. But yeah, just not interested in the -160 for Dallas or the +1 for Miami, that kind of thing. Finally, we got one more here. Apparently, I just can't talk for, 20 plus minutes straight to myself. So I guess I got to work on that in the future. But we got the Galaxy home against Montreal. The Galaxy are -125. Montreal +320. So Galaxy had the mix-up there. I guess not the mix-up. They had the early red card against Minnesota. Just really struggled from the start in that one. They lost at home 3-2 on Wednesday. Montreal, kind of the opposite situation. They won 2-1 at Seattle, which is, a pretty good result. I assume they're staying on the West Coast, though this is a Wednesday to Monday turnaround here. So maybe Montreal is going to be going to Seattle, back to Montreal, to Los Angeles. Maybe. We'll see. I mean, it's not like they celebrate July 4th anyways. So maybe they're just staying on the West Coast, that kind of thing. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. So just in terms of that, just in terms of the Galaxy, I'm not really sold on some of their performances right now. And you look at who was sent off. Cabral was sent off. Douglas Costa was sent off. So they got those red cards in there. And they just haven't looked too consistent or overly impressive, even though they are 6th in the table here. So I'm actually going to go Montreal, double chance winner draw there, +105. Yeah, I mean, Montreal playing pretty well. They got the win at Seattle. They have some pretty good results. I mean, a lot of those are at home, but I mean, they won at Charlotte, lost at Nashville, got a point against the Union. They beat the Red Bulls, that kind of a thing. So we'll see if the West Coast gets to them. But I'll take Montreal there. I'm not sold on the Galaxy being minus 125 favorite. I think those odds are skewed a bit, but that's all we got. Everyone, thanks for watching. I just called this MLS betting picks and odds, but hey, 14 matches. We're going to go 14-0. Happy July 4th weekend. Yeah, again, as I said earlier in the show, I'm going to split these up. So we'll have chapters. So you can go to my Saturday bets, you can go to my Sunday bets, you can go to the Monday bets, all that good stuff. But hey, enjoy the weekend, enjoy the long weekend, and we'll see you at some point in July. I guess is the last day of June. So we'll have maybe we'll have some more World Cup videos. We will have some more World Cup content on the site, and as I always say, we're going to have there will be continuous Premier League content. We're going to have some so rare content coming out. More MLS content, a little bit of everything. So we got you covered no matter what you're looking for. Maybe we'll have some more betting content for the upcoming season. We'll see how that goes. But thanks for watching. Again, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. But yeah. Let's see if we can get more viewers on this one than the DFS show I did the other day. But yeah, I'm at Zdroik. You can get all this good stuff at rotowire.com/soccer trial, free 10-day trial, no credit card required. And I'm actually not even sure if the betting page is free or not. I think the betting page is free, so I guess technically you don't need an account. But if you want other good stats, you need an account. But yeah, betting page, as you can see, a lot of good odds here. Just scrolling through, when I was scrolling through this, surprisingly, PointsBet had a lot of the good value. So something to consider there if you don't have an account at PointsBet. Conveniently, you can actually just scroll down the page and click this PointsBet thing, and then there you go. You're set to set up an account. So easy as that. But thank you, everyone. Enjoy the weekend, and we'll see you in July.